Hello. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Xah Talk Show. We are going to code Emacs Lisp today, or technical today. So if you are not a Emacs user, this video is of no interest to you. And let's do, and also I'm gonna talk about some news about Xah Fly Keys. Okay, so if you are watching offline, play at 1.5 speed. If you are here, say hi. Okay, so let me tell you about some news update of Xah Fly Keys. Okay, let's stop this. 3 people are watching. Say hi, okay? So news. So there's a major update of Xah Fly Keys. So Xah Fly Keys is a key binding system for Emacs. Let's go there. So there's a link there, Xah Fly Keys. So it's an efficient key binding system for Emacs. There's a video you can watch. There's quite a few, tens of videos. So it makes Emacs more efficient than Vim or EvoMod. Basically, the idea is that you don't have to hold down control keys or alt keys. And I'm using Xah Fly Keys. So for example, I can delete the whole thing there, delete whole thing or whatever. And the pink window shows all my command calls and keystrokes. The command name on the right, the keystroke on the left. And I'm using a Dvorak keyboard layout. So if is my video doing good, say hi guys. So Dvorak keyboard layout for efficiency reasons. If you don't know what that is a keyboard layout. So let me show you. So this is QWERTY keyboard, and that's Dvorak, QWERTY Dvorak Comac. I've talked about this topic tens of times in the past 4 years of video, 5 years by now. So anyway, so I'm using Xah Fly Keys, and yeah. So what's news about Xah Fly Keys? So there's a lot of changes. So let me show you, demonstrate Xah Fly Keys in terminal. So we are running Xah Fly Keys right now in terminal. Right now it's in PowerShell. Wait. So can we increase the size font? Oh, the increase. Well, in terminal, the font size increase doesn't work in Emacs, but can you do it in? So anyway, this is Xah Fly Keys in Emacs. So let me increase the font size here. Wait, what? So control. Yeah, okay, so that control and scroll up, that will increase the font size. So now let's start Emacs. Okay, so Xah Fly Keys in Emacs. Let's go to today's talk show here. So what's the news? The news is that improved a lot in terminal, and you can see by default, the current line is highlighted when you are in command mode. So this is insert mode, command mode. So when you are in command mode, the current line is highlighted, even in terminal. Same thing with in GUI, okay? So that's one news. And which keys, okay? So Emacs version, since Emacs version 30, you have these switch keys. That means whenever you press some key, then subsequent keys that's available will show up here, and together with their command line. Together with their command names. Okay, so for example, cancel. So I press space, then it shows me what's other keys available. So I can type, for example, this xah fill or unfill. So that makes it into one line or single line or multiple line. Okay. So anyway, that's which keys mod. So that is on if you are on Emacs 30. So basically what it does is it show you subsequent keys you can press and their command names. Okay, so that is on also by default. It's in Emacs 30, so I recommend you. Emacs 30 is available like a few months ago. I recommend that. And highlight lines we talked about. That's highlight current line. So in Xah Fly Keys, when you are in command mod, the current line is highlighted, so it's easy to tell which mode you are in. Okay, so that's Xah Fly Keys, which lines mod. That's the news about Xah Fly Keys. Okay. Now let's talk about some. So the next thing I'm gonna talk about is some Emacs Lisp, advanced Emacs Lisp. So so let's see. Okay, so let's quit that. Let's see. Open Xah Talk Show. Close Xah Talk Show index. Close to do close Emacs. Okay, turn off terminal. So next thing we are going to talk about is Emacs Lisp function keyword parameters. Now Emacs Lisp does not actually support keyword parameters, but there's a convention to do so. So when you have a function, you have named parameters, also known as keyword parameters. So normally it's not supported by Emacs Lisp. However, so it's not supported natively, but however they kind of do it. So via this so-called keyword symbol and property list. So basically, this is what you call. So when you have a command, my test, the first argument is a normal parameter, ordered argument. So 3, 4, or whatever. Then you can see this :A, that's a keyword parameter. Then the value is T, when in this call, and keyword B, and then value. So pairs of names and value, similar to like when you are in Bash or PowerShell. Let's see. So I can go to let's close that. Let's open this directory in terminal. So you can see right now we are in Xah Talk Show. Okay, so I can say which is list children. Okay, so there's a huge amount of stuff. Okay, let's do it again. And you can say recurse or not. Let's see. Let's say filter. Okay, dash filter. So that's a keyword parameter. Filter is a name. So what do you want to filter? Let's say filter JPEG. Okay, then give another optional parameter recurse. Okay, so you can see recurse. Okay, so filter is a keyword parameter and there's value. So you do that. So now it shows subdirectories of JPEG and stuff. So that's the concept of keyword parameters. You have that available in Python, in JavaScript, quite a few languages. So Emacs Lisp does not support that by default, but you have this like make do. And how do you do that? Here is an example and tutorial, so you can go check it out. And I'm gonna actually work on one of my function to change them from, ordered list parameters into keyword parameter. Why do you want to do that? Let me show you an example. Okay, so this command find text regular expression. Okay, so we are in Xah Talk Show directory, and there are 1,500 files. Okay, so let's search for all these files, any name containing Haskell something. Okay, xah-find-text-regex. xah-find-text-regex. Okay, so describe function xah-find-text wait, where's the function? xah-find-text-regex. Describe function xah-find-text regular expression there. Okay, so here's a documentation. Here's a key, and you see here is a bunch of parameters. So let me show you how do you call that. So here is a command. So xah-find-text regular expression. So what regular expression you want to search? Let's say Haskell. Okay, HAS. Okay, Haskell programming language. But let's put a dot there. Dot stand for any character. So that's a regular expression. And input directory. Let's just say input directory is this one. Okay. That's an input directory, okay? Then path regular expression. So you need a regular expression to filter out files. So that would be .html. So dot is a literal, so you need a backslash. And then you want to say end of line, or let's just say $. That means match at the end of line. Okay, then recurse. Do you want to recurse into subdir? Let's say, recurse, let's say true, okay? Then fixed case search, true. Then print context, true, okay? So this is how you call this command, okay? So the problem is, you see, the problem is when you have so many options like this TTT, you forgot what they are. Which one is for, which one, what does this mean? True, true, true. So very confusing. Like when you edit some of it, you forgot what's the position, this neo, you forgot what's the position. So you have to like constantly look up, so it should be recurse, fixed case search, then print context level. So if you don't want recurse, neo, is the first. So that's why. So instead of this, so this is normal ordered parameters. So instead of that, what you want is something like, let me show you, okay? Something like, let's lowercase, okay? Like keyword parameters, recurse, true, fixed case, true, and then this print context level, nil. So you want to be, the parameters to be something like that, so you can easily remember, and the order doesn't matter, and they are optional. So if you don't have them, that still works. So that's keyword parameters, okay? So that's this page, okay? Let me read the comments, then we're gonna dive into technical detail of coding these functions. So let me show you the source code. Describe function, xah-find-text regular expression, correct. Am I alive and doing well? So you guys can see me, right? The audio is on, so good, so good, so good. So let's go to the source code. So here is the definition of that function. You see this one bunch of parameters. Okay, so we're gonna modify, we're gonna change, we're gonna transform this function. We're gonna modify, rewrite, this function to use keyword parameters instead of this bunch of ordered thing. Okay. So make a backup. Now let me read the comments, okay? So, but let's copy this function, make a new buffer, paste it, and save it as xx today's date function name .el. Okay, now go to the directory. There is a function. Now change the space into underscore. So press. Fantastic, convenient command. Now that command is xah-dired-rename-space-to-underscore. So you see this pink window shows all my command calls. Okay, so now open that. So we're gonna modify these. Okay, make a backup first, and you can see xah make a backup and save. And if you search this on YouTube on the web, chances are you will find the source code. There it is. This guy, this scum, while SL, Wesley, I think he bought my tutorial 10 years ago or something. Then he put it on the website. Very annoying. So now when you search Brave, it goes to his website. I sent him an email about a year ago. He ignored it. So this guy needs to be sued. He's like a pastor or something in UK, I believe. So this guy is not good. So anyway, you search for it. Xah make backup and save. So Brave is not a very good search engine compared to Google, because it's not showing my website. Instead of it's showing this other guy's mirror, which is like 10 years old. But you go to if you try Google, it'll work. Okay, this scum, you see his website for some reason shows up. But if you go to google.com, but Google is very nasty, so I stopped using Google. Turn on JavaScript. Ching, ching. Who is paying me? I bet I'm guessing it's Hank. Xah make backup and save. So search for it. Jesus, Google is starting to become very. So these bicycles, you need to pass bot test. Am I a bot or human? Oh, I don't know. Let me see. Check bicycles. Check. Is bicycle wheel a bicycle? Well, it's not a bicycle, but it's bicycle wheel, so it's part of bicycle, I guess. And now what is this? I suppose it's a bicycle. Am I a bot or not? Let's see. Am I human? Oh, Jesus. I'm not human. Stairs. Okay. This. Okay. Is that stairs or not? Let's see. Okay. Finally, I'm human. Xah make backup and save. There it is. Backup current file. Click on that. You see, you can get a code. So, for example, go to directory. Refresh, you have a backup there, close it, make a backup again, go to the directory, refresh, you can see it just, you can make backup by pressing a few keys of the current file. Okay, so that is that. Now we're gonna dive into a deep dive, okay? Emacs Lisp Advanced. Ching, hello Hank. It doesn't look like you've done anything on Emacs spreadsheets yet, according to your website. That's correct. Spreadsheet. Well, Emacs is not usually used for spreadsheet. So, yeah. And I don't think you use Emacs much. So, anyway, Emacs, is there a spreadsheet? Maybe. Let's see. Spread. Okay. No match for spread. Okay, so... yeah, I don't think there's a spreadsheet in Emacs. But GNU, the organization, they have a spreadsheet application called, I forgot what's called. Let's see. GNU spreadsheet. Numeric. Wait, is it numeric? Yes, numeric. Yes, kind of fancy name, numeric. Okay, let's read the comments and see its tables in org. Okay, so the tables in org mod can function as a spreadsheet, I guess. Okay, let's see the comments and we're gonna dive into control minus sign. Okay, So now, how much time could this save? Simple Postman. Hi, thank you for Xah Fly Keys. Fantastic. Thank you. Xah Fly Keys is one of my prime product of my life. You know, like imagine I'm dead. You know, I'll be dead in 10, 20 years. Then what am I known for? Maybe Xah Fly Keys a little bit. You know, that's my main product. So how much time could this save? Save you hand pen and tremendous time. Hey man, what's the name of your whiteboard? Oh, this one? Oh, that's the Glove 80 keyboard. Okay, this is Ultimate Hacking keyboard, and this. Okay, let me go randomish. Okay, so Glove 80 keyboard. Ultimate Hacking, I've been talking about them like for 3 years. Like almost every video, I tell you what they are. So you must be very new. And this is Svalboard, SVALBOARD. Okay, magnetic keys, magnetic key switch. Fantastic. I will be using it. Not yet. So that's my keyboards, and go back to end. You can find them all by searching for Xah keyboard blog. Then you'll see the Svalboard. Okay, lots of photos and detailed reviews and videos. You know, Svalboard. Okay, ultimate input device. Then the other keyboard, you go to the ergonomic keyboard section. You can see the Glove 80. Which is my favorite keyboard. Okay, so yeah, and Ultimate Hacking keyboard is also here. Okay, these are great keyboards. You know, I have like over 100 videos about keyboards. So I talked about them before. Can you explain, ACP says, can you explain that encoding and lexical binding comment at the top of your snippets? When does it apply? Oh, okay. So that's Emacs Lisp technical detail. So where is it? Yeah. Okay. So whenever you have let's add one. Okay. XUTF-8 abbrev. Fantastic. You know, it becomes that. So that, you know, you can also see in this file. So that, okay. So let me just briefly explain this. So in Emacs, so this is a comment in Emacs Lisp. Okay, this is comment. You know, common syntax. So this is a comment. So in Emacs, you have a convention where you can make Emacs. When you open a file, you can make Emacs read certain variables. So basically this means, so this line, let me take it apart, okay? Let me add, so let me add. So now it's easier to understand. So you start, you make a comment, then you have that and that bracketing the text. So this means the coding variable is UTF-8 for this file, and the local variable lexical binding is set to true for this file. Okay, just for this file. So this is a convention. So and those coding is actually variables. Let's say in this case it's not a variable, but anyway. So you can see that by let's, you know, if you search for Xah Emacs tutorial and search for encoding, okay, or search for UTF-8, declare encoding for one file. There it is. So you can see it is explained here. Now, if you have multiple variables, that's why you started to see this semicolon, you know, that's why. And by the way, this convention was also used for Python and for Python 2. For this, okay, this is a mistake. I need to change that. It was used for Python 2 and also used in Ruby. So they picked up Emacs convention like 10 years ago, but not today. Because Python 2 changed into Python 3. So in Python 3, everything is UTF-8, so you don't need that anymore. Okay, so let's delete it, go back here, copy the URL, go to the talk show, show in browser. Okay, I haven't demonstrated running that those yet. Okay, so anyway, paste it here. Showing, okay, so these are Emacs Lisp code. Anyway, yeah, so Python, we need to edit that. So open that, show in browser. Okay, so Python 3, go to top, search for Python. Okay, so this actually should be Python 2. Okay, color everything, remove that, and actually remove that. Okay, add a Python 2 tag, cut that, put it here, syntax correct, show in browser. So now it's fixed. Anyway, they don't use it anymore, so I probably should update this page. This is like they don't use that anymore. So anyway, that's what that means. Now, lexical binding. What about the other thing, lexical binding? So you see there's another variable, so describe variable, there it is, lexical binding. Here's the documentation. Lexical binding is a variable defined in C source code. Enter. Now if you downloaded Emacs source code, then you press enter, it'll jump to that C source code location. But anyway, this variable just means makes like the let construct to be lexical binding, because so this is new about 10 years ago, since Emacs 24. There's another annoying thing in Emacs news file. They don't say what date it is. Okay, so they don't say what date. In the news file, they don't say what date is Emacs 24. So you have to go to my website instead, or search the web. Emacs version history. You search for it, you'll find it on xah-dired-rename-space-to-underscore. So Emacs 24 is was it Emacs 24 we're talking about? 2012. So it's like 11, 12 years old, 13 years old. Okay, so in 2012 they added this lexical binding. It's a major change, kind of improvement, because before that, all the let is local. For example, when you see, there, you see this let is for creating local variables. But before Emacs 24, they are dynamic binding. So, and then again, what's the difference? Well, dynamic binding is the no-brainer, easier, time-based local variable binding system. While lexical binding means what you see is what you get. Like that's what I like to call them. For example, this, here all these are local. Just local to this parenthesized expression. So when you have lexical binding, all these are local to, local to whatever this, this let. But however, there's a trick. Like if you always code your code in a functional way, you never abuse, global variables, or you never do you always make your function pure function. That is, whatever is the function's behavior output purely depends on the parameters. Then this local and dynamic lexical, dynamic binding and lexical binding does not matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. So for me, I don't really care about that, because I always, since I begin programming in Wolfram language, I always code in a functional style. but to other people, like to many lispers, this is a big deal. They get excited, lexical binding and stuff. Anyway, so at this rate, we are not gonna talk about technical stuff. So we already like 30 minutes, okay? So, okay, let me mention that. That's what we talked about. Let's go to talk show. And lexical binding and this declaration. And, okay, so this declaration, let's put it into Emacs Lisp code, syntax correct, showing browser. And what about this garbage? Okay, that's demonstrate. So we haven't demonstrated this command. Let me do so. Okay, so let me put them into a Emacs Lisp code block. Cut, paste there. Now pop it out. Okay, now it's proper syntax color. Okay, so if I run this code, it will search all regular expression has.cow in my talk show directory, and I forgot what those parameters are. So recurse true, fixed case, print context. Okay, so recurse true. Okay, so if I run it, you see, fantastic. Then you can jump to occurrences. Haskell, they found Haskell. Okay, so press enter, you'll jump to it. Press a key, showing browser. So Xah Talk Show 2019. Okay, so that is a command. So, but we want it to be in this form, so we know, what are those TTTTT. Okay. Okay. Anything else? Let's see. Do you like JavaScript? No. JavaScript became one of the most complex programming language. Okay. Question: have you ever been interested in designing your own keyboard, 3D printing it, and so on? Yes, of course. Now let's put this back. Syntax color, showing browser. Now we got the proper formation. Okay, about keyboard. Okay, let's digress. Maybe we'll skip the the technicality of the Emacs Lisp because few people know that much about Emacs Lisp. So your question about keyboard. So let's go to search Xah keyboard blog and keyboard search. Xah keyboard. Keybo. Okay. So let's see how many articles. 58. So keyboard blog archive. Okay, I don't want archive. So minus archive. Okay, 10 results. Xah's truly ergonomic keyboard layout, best ergonomic keyboard guide, Xah Fly Keys layout. Okay, Xah keyboard testimonials. That's praises of my keyboard blog. Xah keyboards. Okay, that's my keyboard. This one, Xah no-chord keyboard. So let's go look at them. So that's my keyboards. Many keyboards. These are my battle stations. Okay, so you can see Glove 80 and Kinesis 360 and Ultimate Hacking Keyboard and Ultimate Hacking Keyboard and Ultimate Hacking Keyboard, double Ultimate Hacking Keyboard, Ultimate of the Ultimate Hacking Keyboard. Okay. And this one is Kinesis Advantage 2. That's the old one. And here, Kinesis Advantage 2 with Ultimate Hacking Keyboard, and my others. Okay, so I've done like hundreds of videos about keyboards before. I haven't been doing them because now I have Glove 80, which is satisfactory, and also the svalboard I need to get into. And also because ultimately keyboard stuff, the keyboard is, it's not significant topic because every year you got new ones, and you need to do coding. Okay, coding and mathematics. That's how you make America great again, or whatever your country. keyboard is not. So you are asking my personal design. Yes, I got one. That's this one. Xah no-chord keyboard from 2011. So that is my goal for this keyboard, my imagination. So it would look like something like this one. Okay. The idea is that you want the cheap, you don't want fancy, expensive $300 one. Okay. I'm thinking creating a cheap keyboard, $50, and that's very ergonomic and efficient. So it would look like almost exactly like this one. Okay. Like this one came from 2018. I designed mine in 2011. Okay, but the do-it-yourself in China, they they made it probably independent from what I from my design. So anyway, so this is my design of my what I thought is ideal. I like to make it cheap, $40. And make it standard. Okay, so anyway, and so what about doing it? I'm too old. So I don't know the 3D printing. It takes a lot of time to learn, and I'm too old. I need to spend my time on several math topics such as differential geometry, proofs, theories, and lots of programming like Ling proof system and F#. So I don't have time to do this. And also, it's not easy. It is easy if all you want is just like do it yourself. You just create one for yourself. Okay. And there are thousands of them. You can see on Reddit, Mechanical Keyboard Club, or whatever, there are millions, and Japanese do-it-yourself community. Okay, let's copy that, shrink, let's post the link here so that we get a record of what we talk about. Close that. What is this? Keyboard block, close it. Okay, hold on a second. Let's just paste that there, okay? So that, and also paste that there. And okay, so yeah, so if you here is a million do-it-yourself keyboards. You can see the creativity. Tactile, very popular, and tactile manual form, very popular, and Colossum, this is from Japan. I believe this is from Japan do-it-yourself community, and they have Japanese has lots of these cute things. Unlike American, American don't have cute things. American is like huge and square, but Japanese always have lots of cute things. And Asia, basically Japanese and China. And so you got these, so many. So if you want to create something like that, you can do it. But if you want actually to manufacture it, like make it for other people to buy, then it becomes 100 times more difficult, because you need to, then you became a entrepreneur, you become a businessman. Basically, you need to go to China to manufacture it. You need to talk to factories. You need to talk to other businessmen. You need to talk to lawyers. That's not for me. So anyway, that answers your question, I think. My jacket, this jacket is from a friend from China, my wife's friend, actually. So this jacket, it's worth talking about. This jacket is actually a uniform in China, Nanjing, okay, there's China, big city, Nanjing, like known in America as Nanjing Massacre, happened in World War II. That's probably the only phrase you heard about the city, Nanjing Massacre. I like to mention it because because there's a lot politics against us, So anyway, you can look it up. Okay, so anyway, that's Nanjing City. There's a high school, and apparently a high-level high school. Like elite high school. So this jacket is their uniform. I mean a uniform of the jacket. So a friend, actually my wife's friend, gave it to me. So let's see what's next, and are we about done? 40 minutes. So let's see. Yeah, we talked about these things. I'll leave the coding to myself then, okay? Because it's gonna be boring. Technically, very technical Emacs Lisp. Jeff said something and message retracted. Vortex cycles. Hi. Suffer so late. Bless you. I think you will also be remembered for your knowledge base. My knowledge base website. Yeah. Your opinion on God mode. Okay, that's the worst shit possible. Never use God mode. Okay, that's Asian news. Like I talked about this. Like, didn't I just talk about it like a few days ago? So God mode. So in Emacs, there's quite a few packages that enhance Emacs key binding, make it easier. So, and maybe 5 of them or 7 of them are fairly popular. The most popular is evil mode, and my Xah Fly Keys is is very popular as well. And the another one I created is Emacs, very popular. Okay, and so these are evil mode, Xah Fly Keys, Emacs mode. These are popular, but then there's like 5 or 6 more. Okay, there's people created after I created first, kind of Emacs mode. So God mode came after. Is one of them. It's also popular, and there's quite a few. I don't, I'm kind of getting old, so I talked about this like 10 years ago every day, but I guess you guys too young. But God mode, I don't recommend it. Okay. And there's also Hydra mode. I also do not recommend that. So I do recommend Xah Fly Keys, or Emacs, or evil mod. Okay, just use these 3. One of them. Do you want to all software be free? No, I talked about that many times. Okay, I have like 20, 30 1-hour video rants about open source and free software foundation and Richard Stallman. Just search on my YouTube. Okay, so I guess you are new. So I think that's it. Anything else? So we talked for close to 50 minutes. Anything else? Let me check. So we keyboard blog, by the way, there's over 1,000 articles. Okay. So keyboard blog, showing browser, back to Emacs, go to the directory, go to the bottom, 1,400 HTML articles. Now, if you count image files, then it's gonna be 3,000. Let's see. The filter, the file. Let's magnify. Okay. The file, and the file recursive. Okay, let's just do it. Okay, this mega giga, and pass it to measure, MEAS. So this is PowerShell. So there are 6,000 files just in a keyboard directory. What about if you say just HTML files? filter star HTML wildcard. Do it. So 1100 articles and 6,000 files. Okay, so keyboards about this include trackball. I talked about this so many times. Everything you want to know about keyboards, mouse, trackball, keyboard layouts, and typing habits, repetitive string injury, how to avoid it, keyboard layouts, letter layouts, key binding design, and so on. In fact, last week or two, I think I talked about this, went over again. So let's see. So design of my custom layout. Are there any cases? Simple Postman says, are there any cases when ordered function arguments are better than keyword name parameters? Yes. So basically, the principle is that, okay, so this is a general tip for any programming language. May it be Lisp, or Emacs Lisp, or Common Lisp, or Scheme Lisp, or Python, JavaScript, or Java, or or Wolfram language, or Haskell, or Rust. Okay, so when you write a function, you have parameters. You have to kind of design it. Okay, it can get complicated, including in Bash or PowerShell, the command line, like parameters like these. Okay, so in general, the most basic concept of function parameters is just ordered parameters. Okay, so meaning that so you can say f, call this function a, b, c. Okay, a list of parameters, and they are ordered. Okay, all of them are required. That's the most simple case. Then you have the concept of optional parameters. Then you have the concept of keyword parameters, which is also optional. Then it gets kind of fairly complex, because when you have optional parameters, and you got lots of things. Okay, so let me write it out. Ordered, okay, most simple, ordered parameters. Okay, like that. Okay, so let's see. Okay, you may also have optional. Okay, you may also have keyword parameters. Okay, you may why you may? Because it depends on the language. Some language has this but doesn't have that. Depends on the design of the language. Okay, but if so first of all, of course, depends on the language, how the language created design, which one they have or don't have. Then once you have this mix of them, then it becomes, then you got other issues. Okay, then you may also let's just copy that. You may also have keyword parameters, then keyword parameters, aka name parameters. Okay, then you may also have rest parameters. Okay, rest parameters means like plus. Okay, plus 3, 4. You can have like lots of arguments, like infinite. Then okay, so the complexity is when you have all these features, then it becomes a problem. Wait, is my live stream still going? Something went off. Oh, fuck. Stupid YouTube. Am I still going fine? Pop this out. sarcasm. Brian is still doing Lisp. I remember his blog from 15 years ago. Yes, I'm persistent guy. I'm the persistent type. People call me a troll. People say I'm the biggest troll on news group like 20 years ago, 10 years ago. And these scums, they died out. They become quiet like the Perl people. Perl was most popular programming language for like 15 years, and the Unix fuckheads with their Unix philosophy, they spread, they say Unix philosophy, this or that, like bullshit, total fake news, total lie, by these Unix, Linux, and also open source people, but then 20 years ago, then they died out, they disappeared. You don't hear them anymore. And today, you can see they are just totally wrong. I want them to come back and get flogged. I want them punished. But they disappear. They become, they get married. They don't talk about programming anymore. Or they become managers. They don't talk about programming. They don't know. They forgot that once you get older, you forgot about programming. That's not your thing anymore. Whatever, or they passed away, some of them very old. So you see, so the time goes by, each generation, let's say each 10 years, you have this fad and pure fake news, like today's Java, the landscape of NPM, the fuckheads who created NPM, JavaScript land, you have the community, and today you have the Zoomer generation doing, they think, they don't know history, right? Nobody can know, when they were born, they don't know about what happened before. The only way for them to know is read history. And when you read history, you can't really know because you haven't lived through it. So anyway, every generation you got this fad and fake news, and like people used to believe Earth are flat. That's a prime example. So anyway, what I'm saying is that I'm persistent, I'm still doing this, but those people who like saying I'm a troll and stuff, most of them, like vast majority of them, they disappeared. They say Perl is the best language. Anyone who disagrees is a scum, fuckhead, and they ban you. They actually try to ban you. They say, for example, another old thing is that by the Unix philosophy fuckheads, they say that you cannot have one line. For example, let's make this capitalize, and let's add period at the end. Okay, so sometimes you have your line is formatted long, right? They say you cannot do that in Unix. If you do that, they're gonna ban you. They're gonna complain. His name is Christiansen something, a Perl god. Perl is one of the most popular, the number one, Perl and C programming language for like 10, 15 years. Okay, from about 1995 to 2005, Perl. So during this time, every programmer is chanting about Perl and chanting about there are more than one way to do it. Lots of slogans. Everyone is doing it. The programmers and one of them is one of these priests. I call them priests. Perl priest is Tom Christiansen. Okay, I believe that's how you spell it. This guy, Tom Christiansen, okay, one of the fuckhead, one of the scum. Okay, he's age 62, so he's like, 5 years older than me, 4 years older than me. Okay, not too old. So I'm still around, but he basically you don't see him anymore. The last time I saw him post on Stack Overflow is maybe 5 or 10 years ago. But anyway, back then, 2008, yeah, that's the time, 2000, actually from 1990s to 2000s. He's like everywhere. There's nobody who doesn't know him, okay? And one of his thing, he chased people on newsgroup who post on newsgroup and who do not format their lines into the way Unix philosophy fuckheads, the scumbags, demands. So in Unix philosophy, if, you should, every time you write email or post to the newsgroup, you should format your lines like that, okay? No more than 80 characters. Okay, so you can see, the Emacs ruler mod. Okay, so you can see 80 characters, right? You cannot, if you have a line more than 80 characters, that they consider it very bad. And this guy, Tom Christiansen, is well known. He chased people. I think, did he chase actually argue with me? I think yes, once or twice, maybe once. But anyway, he's well known for chasing people on newsgroup, telling them that you need to format your lines like that. Like total blatant, fake, idiotic, false, bad opinion. Okay, but he pushes it. But the thing is, these people, these scumbags, they disappeared, right? After 10 years, they disappeared. They, so this one of it's one of my complaints about these fuckheads. Because today you look back, you can see lots of their, the Perl, the trolling, the Perl, the more than one way to do it. That's total crap. That's damaging to programming, computer science. But these people, they spread it. Okay. By the way, this is my opinion only. So these people cannot sue me. And one of them, another guy, very famous, but he's a good person, is Randall Schwartz. Okay, I talked to him many times, and he's known for so here's the law of programming. Okay, there was this so-called Schwartzian Transform. You guys today probably don't know what that is, but that's basically a technique when you want to sort a list of things. Like typically you have, let's say, a list of pairs. You want to sort by the key, or you want to sort by the value, right? How do you do that? How do you do that? Well, back then, programming language don't have that built in. So what you do is you make a copy of the list, and you extract the. Let's say you want to sort by the value, a list of pairs. The first item is key, the second item is value. Let's say you want to sort them by value. If you just do the normal way, sort and pass a function to sort, that's inefficient, because for every comparison, it needs to extract the value twice, not more than twice, because every time you do compare, you need to extract the value. So extracting the value is done, many times, inefficient. So what you do is you create a new list of just the values. Okay, then you sort by how do you do that? I forgot that moment, but I mean I know, but I just right now I cannot try to explain it in a cogent way. Okay, so you get the value as a list first, then you how do you do that? Extraction. Anyway, I haven't done this for a long time, because today this kind of thing is built in a programming language, for example in Python, since maybe 10 years ago. And so if you want to sort by some key, you just say optional argument key, key second or whatever, right? So and I have an article on this, doing this too. I have an article, just search for I have quite a few articles about sort actually. So okay, let's show it. xah code, go to search the root directory and sort, okay? So you got sort, you got 22 articles, Wolfram language sort, JavaScript sort is fragile, most complex and convoluted, and by the way, that has been fixed too. And Emacs sort file by time, sequence sort, reverse Emacs lisp sort hash table. Okay, so let's go back, wait. Okay, so next, Emacs sort lines, array sort, JavaScript, array two sorted. Okay, that's another very complexity, ugly JavaScript because they try to fix it, so they created a new function. JavaScript sort map, Linux sort, there it is, one of my earliest article on this Schwartzian Transform fuck, okay, by these scumbags. Basically in summary is that these idiots, these people, these Unix hackers, these Unix philosophy fuckheads, they like juvenile humor. They like to create jargons, so it makes you feel, oh, what is this Schwartzian transform? It sounds like advanced math. I don't understand. Oh, Jesus, this guy is a genius. Schwartzian transform. By the way, that phrase is mentioned all the time, every day, by these fuckheads, by these elite coders, okay? Today they are on Hacker News, these type of people. So, but technically, it's just a technique to sort by first extracting the keys. It's nothing, and so let me show you my article, okay? So JavaScript fragile, so there, okay, sort list matrix, and so you can. So here is the article. This article is put up in 2013, but this is written like 2000, like in year 2K, okay, 25 years ago. In fact, I have a Perl library in public somewhere. You'll find it if you try to search it, to sort matrices. Okay, basically this Schwartzian transform is just useful for sorting matrices. Okay. So let's see if I expand here. Okay, compare as number or as a string. That's another tricky issue, depending on the language. Sort matrix. Okay, that is what you want to do, and this is how you do it. And reverse sort order, sort complex objects. Okay, so for example, you want to sort these things, these file names, but you want to extract the number buried inside the file name. That is the part you want to sort. Okay, so that's a complex issue. So that's how you do it in Perl. I wrote like 25 years ago. Okay, in year 2000s. Okay, then did I explain the Schwartzian transform fuck? Okay, so here's my library. So this is dated 2005, but actually written in 1999. Okay, sort matrix. Okay, so what it's doing is using the so-called the idiotic jargon by these scumbags, by these Unix fuckheads, the Schwartzian transform. Why they create the jargon? Because technically because this guy is a not bad person. Okay, this guy Randall Schwartz, very famous for other reasons. He's well known. For details you can read it. Okay, they wrote books. This Tom Christiansen and Randall Schwartz, they have written books. He Perl books, one of the most famous O'Reilly books. So the Schwartzian transform is named after the Randall Schwartz because he made it very popular among Perl, the most popular language, creating, so that is why named after him. But it's just, but you see, when a computer scientist or Lisp programmers read this, it's like insulting. This technique is known in all other languages before who whatever fuck when you made it popular. but anyway, the Perl guys, so it's like nothing you can do. It's like today's Twitter, today's social network. There's just tremendous fake news, but you can't say it because everyone is repeating the fake news. Just like, like this Schwartzian Transform fuck. And that's why you don't hear it and much more, This, like nobody says Schwartzian Transform. Okay, that's an example of that. Okay, bye. Okay, ACS, thank you guys for watching. That's it for today. That's Rant. That's a good rant. Okay. Sort, array, here's a story about array, about sort in JavaScript. JavaScript sort is fragile and most complex and convoluted, no doubt. And here is JavaScript specification, ECMAScript, fuck. But, so, but they, okay, actually I was addressing something else. But anyway, you look at the spec, it's very convoluted, fuck. But back then, JavaScript sort, so what year is that? JavaScript sort, this is 2017, okay? But now it's fixed, because JavaScript, so by spec, sort is stable since ECMAScript 2019. So 2019, 6 years ago, they fixed it. Before that, sort is unstable, meaning that if you have like neighbor things that are equal, but after you sort, they go somewhere else. Okay, they go they move, they get moved about. Okay, that's meaning of stable sort and unstable sort. Okay, that's it for today. Now pay me. Okay, if you like my stuff, you can like buy my JavaScript tutorial. Click, go to the home page of JavaScript in depth and go to the bottom, and you can see where wow, which plugin have you used to do this thing? None. Okay, that's my tutorial. No library, no framework. I show you how to do it pure JavaScript. Okay, and you can buy it here. You kind of just donate to me, $35. You get the JavaScript, you get the download in a zip file. Nobody, you don't really need it because everything is online free. Okay, so you just sort of just donate to me. Okay, so go to donation, go to xah-dired-info homepage, xah-dired-info, and all the way at the bottom, you can Patreon me, Amazon gift card me, PayPal me. Okay, if you are working, pay me 100. Okay, once a year, that'll be good. Bye, guys. Thank you, Hank. Thank you, Hank.